Hey there, Delmarva. Happy Monday, and not just any old Monday, it's Earth Day. We are your hosts today. I'm Leah Rizzo, and the lovely Rachel Parker joining me from the Parker Group on the couch today.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah,
it's always
for
fun.
filling in. I know I was out last week, Paige is out today, so we're a little all over the place, but it's all good. Do you do anything for Earth Day? Oh, I always want to volunteer on Earth Day, and then I never do.
I haven't either for a long time. I feel like back in elementary school, there was always something really fun and cool going on, like we're all going to go plant trees. And I'm really embarrassed to say I forgot that it was Earth Day until you mentioned it this morning.
Yeah, I forgot about it too until somebody in a group chat was like, Happy Earth Day, and I was like, it's my day, and I forgot.
Yeah, like I'm going to take the kids out and go plant some trees this afternoon or something.
Exactly. I'm going to try. I know I've been saying it for months, and I'm like, I need to start my garden. I need to start my garden. So maybe today is actually the day.
Good day. Now, are you like a flower gardener, veggies, herbs? What do you garden?
I try to be a veggie and herb gardener.
Nice.
Some years I've had better success than others.
You're like who I want to be when I grow up. I always tell myself I'm going to grow my own food one day, and I've never gotten there.
I don't quite have the hang of it. I will admit that. But I mean, I think the first year I tried, I was like, oh wow, this is great. Like I got like the best tomatoes, but they were just like the little cherry tomatoes, and like everything was really small because our soil's really sandy, so everything's in like elevated garden beds.
Yeah.
And I've done none of the research, but all of the like chaotic gardening of just throwing stuff in the ground, and I'm like, we'll see what happens. So sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So it's all learning. You learn a lot more from the mistakes than you do the success.
Well, we've had a lot of, so a friend of ours is a really good gardener, and she keeps giving us plants that she swears it's impossible to kill. I mean, like it's like mint, like peppers, all sorts of things. We have successfully killed every single one so far.
Yeah,
so
I don't know. Happen
one day. But anyway, maybe Earth Day would be a good day to try again.
Is the day. So no matter how you're celebrating, just remember to bring those reusable grocery bags to the grocery store with you today.
That is always the trickiest part.
It's the hardest thing to remember in life. Maybe you celebrated the weekend though, because Friday was TTPD Day. If you're a Swiftie, you know that was the day she released The Tortured Poets Department.
How many times have you listened so far?
I think I was on my fourth total listen through on the way this morning, because here's how this album works. It's a lot like the Reputation album in that musically a lot of the songs sound very similar, so you have to really listen to hear it.
So as not as much of a Swiftie as you, what does that mean musically, that they're similar, that they're complex, the lyrics?
So the lyrics are very complex and they are fairly different from one another, but I think just sort of the synth pop sound is the same after the other, after the other, after the other. So you're like, wait, is this the same song? No, okay, we're on a different song now. So it does take a few comb throughs to listen to everything, but she has already sold 600,000 albums.
Go Taylor.
I know. And I know there was some pushback because originally with this album, she released 6 different versions. I think it was between 4 and 6 different versions.
Interesting.
Each one containing a different, not secret song, but a different bonus song.
One.
Yeah. And so the idea was to kind of collect them all. But I know there was some pushback from other artists that were like, oh, that's so wasteful, it's materialistic, it's a money grab. And so at 2 a.m., the same day she released the album, she released a whole second album that's the Tortured Poets Department, the anthology, and it was an additional 15 songs, including those 4 or 6 songs that were on those albums.
I can see how people would feel a little bit some kind of way about that. It makes sense, yeah.
The thing is, she does it every time. Every single time she has bonus songs that eventually get released on Spotify. This was just tight. Yeah, this was the fastest she'd ever done it. So I think people were a little upset because they were like, oh, but I already bought this version and I should have just waited. But I'm like, you should have just waited because she does this every time.
But also kudos to Taylor Swift.
Yep.
How in the world does she have enough time to make that many songs while dating
on tour
an NFL quarterback?
And dating an NFL quarterback.
I guess he's not a quarterback.
Not quarterback.
Obviously, we're the football trivia people here too. But yeah, quite prolific, very impressive.
Yes, very much so. Sort of changing gears a little bit from Taylor Swift, my favorite,
to children.
To children. I mean, in a way, it can transition because she's a multi-generational artist.
Yeah.
I mean, kids these days still love her the same way that I did when I was a teenager.
Absolutely. Avery is all Taylor Swift. Actually, birthday party theme this year. We're going Taylor Swift. Yeah.
Nice. Yep. Well, you got a lot of material to pull from. But parents these days are talking about how kids seem to be growing up faster than they have before. You are a mom. Would you say that that's true?
I do agree with that, and honestly, I think like YouTube alone could be a reason for it, and like Taylor Swift and all these artists that they have so much content out in so many different channels that kids have access to. So I mean, Avery, she's interested in like skincare and like beauty products and stuff like that. Whereas I don't know how you are, but when I was that age, I feel like I was like just covered in mud all the time.
Same. I was like, let's make a fairy ring.
Yes, exactly. Let's summon the fairies.
Yes.
Yeah. So I do think that they just, and part of it's probably just marketing and advertising, but they're just like so inundated with things that teenagers are doing or like young adults are doing.
Yeah, I mean, I think a lot of it has to do with just the access to the sort of like uncovered access to the internet that kids have. That you know, we didn't have that same lack of threshold, I think, because you know, we had the family computer. So if you were going to be on the internet, so was everybody else in the house. They were sitting there looking at what you were watching, and so you weren't, I mean, even if you weren't even looking for anything bad, but if there was something that really wasn't targeted towards you, mom and dad could step in and say like, no, that's not for you.
Yeah, and you had a less amount of time on there even just to look at different things,
right,
and it took like 20 minutes to connect to the internet because it was like the dial-up connection. So yeah, very different. I agree. No, and most of us grew up like watching cable TV where you just sat there and watched the TV channel guide to figure out when your show was going to come on, and you had to wait. And it's just
I think kids have a lot harder of time being bored these days, and so I think because they are, you know, they're getting targeted by content that's not really necessarily made for them. It is really targeting an older audience.
True.
Your 16-year-olds are a much different target than your 13-year-olds, and yet they're seeing the same content.
Absolutely, and I kind of think those marketers are really targeting us parents through their kids that we have to buy like bubble skincare.
No,
or like
I think they are too. They know.
Brand of that, so
they know what they're doing.
So it's very smart.
Yeah, it is. It's smart, but I think it's also dangerous, and I think I would be curious to see if we end up seeing some like social media literacy courses pop up as I think more millennials step into administrative roles in schools and maybe addressing sort of the school curriculum to see how kids navigate social media, because this really is sort of uncharted territory for all of us.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's really interesting, because I've read somewhere that in like Scandinavian countries, a lot of schools are focusing on critical thinking skills for kids and being able to kind of differentiate between fact and fiction and what they see online, because they're just inundated with messages all the time, and they're not primed to be like skeptical of what they see naturally.
Yeah, no, it's true, and I think that is something that we take for granted as adults, because you're like, oh, we already learned that skill set. Obviously, not everything you see online is real, but I think we forget to teach that to our own kids and the next generation. So I'd be curious to see how schools kind of tackle that. But we do have a fun show to dive into today. Here's what's coming up on COASTLIFE. We are sitting down with a local author who also has a big heart when it comes to giving back to those in need. Speaking of giving back to our community, it's National Volunteer Week. We're also checking in with BB Healthcare and how you can help out. And coming up this weekend is National Drug Take Back Day. We're going to chat with Rehoboth Beach Police Department and how you can take back your prescription medicine that you don't need anymore. All that fun and more is headed your way today on COASTLIFE.
COASTLIFE is sponsored by BB Healthcare, Coastal Comfort Heating and Air Conditioning, Preston Automotive Group, Shell Brothers, and the Parker Group.
Life is all about choices.
And on Delmarva, we know you have a lot of country music stations to choose from.
Well, at Coast Country 103.9 and 106.3, we believe we do more of what you want.
And playing stuff that we love too, like Morgan Wallen, Lainey Wilson, plus all the good stuff too, Reba, Brooks and Dunn, Garth, and all the classics in between.
So we're issuing the Coast Country Challenge.
Tune us in for a week, and we're sure when you'll accept the challenge,
You'll feel Delmarva proud too.
When you visit the Delmarva Design Center, you'll experience a selection of appliances, cabinetry, countertops, tile, and flooring all together in one showroom. The 10,000 square foot location has a variety of inspiring samples for any project size or budget. Your dedicated product experts and designers collaborate to bring your dream project to life. Come and see what the kitchen industry buzz is all about. Experience the Delmarva Design Center in Selbyville, Delaware, serving all of Delmarva's coast.
Spark your senses at the Spice and Tea Exchange in Rehoboth Beach. Food lovers, home chefs, and tea enthusiasts rejoice. Smell and sample your way through hundreds of exotic spices and teas from around the world. Our signature blends and rubs are hand-mixed daily to ensure the highest quality and freshness. Talk to our tea experts and learn the wellness benefits of drinking fresh, loose-leaf premium teas. Find a tasteful gift for that special someone or join us for an in-store cooking demo. Find your way to flavor at the Spice and Tea Exchange on the Avenue in Rehoboth Beach. Sister locations in Annapolis, Maryland, and Old Town Alexandria, Virginia.
Sometimes life can be a bit out of focus. So at Wink Vision Center, we have next day eye exams available so you can see clearly as soon as possible. Shop our vast selection of designer frames from Vera Wang, Tiffany, Maui Jim, and Under Armour. Already have a prescription? Bring it to us. Wink puts life in better focus, from improving vision to designer frames and quality customer service.
The choice is clear. Wink Vision, Ocean City, and Cambridge.
On the next wheel,
how you doing, gang?
The contestants are spinning and spinning for a chance to win trips around the world.
Ah, it's going to be a big night. Can you feel it?
Monday at 7 on Coast TV.
On Jeopardy, it's a new week. What does it take to find the energy for this game?
I had a lot of caffeine in the green room, like 4 cups of coffee. That's it.
Is that a recipe for Jeopardy success?
Monday at 7:30 on Coast TV.
Coast Life, we introduce you to so many wonderful people with such amazingly big hearts here on Coastal Delmarva, and one such person joining us on the couch today is not only a giver by nature, but also an author. Susie Kiefer is joining us, author of He Hoped I Would Come, on the Coast Life couch today. Susie, welcome.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for being here. So first, just kind of introduce our viewers to you, who you are as a person, and how your experience has all kind of led to this book.
Okay, I went to Congo in 2010 on a mission trip with a small group of people, and it was to the Democratic Republic of Congo. And I didn't think I was ever going to go back the first moment I landed there.
Sure.
So in the book, it explains what it really felt like to land into a totally foreign country that, you know, you were kind of unprepared for. Some preparation, but you really can't experience it ahead of time. And so, but you know, things changed, and I went back the very following year, and it was that year that I met Miriam.
Yes.
And Miriam was just 2 at that point. Aww. But it seemed as though the moment we met, we just fell in love with each other. But she had a small family. She lived with her father and her brother. But the following spring, 2012, her father passed. And so she was going to become an orphan. Her brother, who was 12 years older than she is, he was going to be with his mother. So anyway, it ended up that we were able to adopt her, and in the process of the adoption and me spending a lot of time in Congo, I became sort of famous in the area where the feeding center was, where I was going with Miriam. And some mothers came and asked, they walked 3 miles and asked if, they said, we're looking for your Susie, and we would like to know if she could feed our children, because our children are starving too. And so that was sort of the first question that was asked. And when Miriam and I left the next morning to come home, we started the idea of being able to build a center, a nutrition center, where the women were from.
And that's sort of how you met Miriam, was through a nutrition program, right?
Exactly, yeah. She was coming to a nutrition program.
Yeah, so tell us about the Miriam's Table and the nutrition program that you guys sort of built together.
Okay, Miriam's Table is located in what they call the Impasa region of the Democratic Republic of Congo, and it's settled into what they call the poorest of the poor area. It's a little bit more difficult for you to get there by vehicle or anything, but there's millions of people in there, and thousands in that particular area. But we opened the center with the idea that we were going to feed about 150 children, but we actually feed 350 children. And so they come daily for their bowl of nutrition, and we have seen a huge change in the ability for the children to run and jump and play and be just like every other child that you would see here. And so we're looking forward to seeing what else we can provide for that community. The Rotarians here in, actually in Rehoboth Beach, they actually helped us build a well.
Wow.
Because we were losing children to typhoid fever and other diseases that are caused from the the water being bad.
Yeah.
So we do have that now, and so that keeps them healthy as well.
Yes. So all of these experiences that you've had, what made you want to put them all into a book?
Actually, other people, people that have been around from the beginning of it all keep saying, "You should write this down. You should write this down." And at some point, I just started to create the ideas that could come into the book, and it finally came to fruition with this spring.
Yes, well, a very inspiring story within this book, but you actually have a release event coming up for the book. Tell folks about that and how they can be involved.
Yes, the book is actually going to be released on May the 5th for purchase. And it'll be that evening on May 5th, which is a Sunday evening. We're going to be at the Bethel United Methodist Church in the Fellowship Hall at 6 o'clock that evening. The exciting part about that is my publisher is going to actually be there with his wife, and starting next week, I have our visitor from Congo will be here.
Awesome.
And so he'll be able to be there to share information, what it was like on their side to have Miriam's Table.
Perfect. And is this an event that people need to pay for, or can they just show up?
Just come.
Awesome. That's what we like to hear, right? You just show up and you can get your hands on this very, very, very inspiring story. Well, Susie, thank you so much for coming in and telling us about Miriam's Table, your story and your time, and where people can get a hold of this book. That date and time one more time for May 5th.
May 5th, 6 p.m. at Bethel United Methodist Church in Lewis.
Awesome. Well, don't go anywhere, because if you've been inspired to give back to your community, we're talking National Volunteer Week with BB Healthcare when we get back.
You put that visor down, your senses are heightened.
The sounds, the smells, burning rubber and fuel. It smells good.
Sounds like a tornado. You're feeding off of that sensory overload.
Tonight at 6, the 5 Points Roundabout is now partially open. Earth Day cleanup efforts at Slaughter Beach, a debate on solar panels in Georgetown, and an update on the end of Ocean City seasonal police officers. Tonight on Coast TV News at 6.
Get ready for 4 days of fun in the sun at SpringFest. Enjoy amazing food, live entertainment, unique artisan products, and more. With over 200 artists and vendors, local food, and enhanced selections of beer and wine, don't miss this free event located at the Ocean City Inlet from May 2nd through the 5th. SpringFest features 2 stages and more than 30 live performances, including headliners, The Olivia Show, a tribute to Olivia Newton-John, country music sensation Lauren Elena, and alternative rock band Everclear. Don't miss out. Get all the details at ococean.com/SpringFest.
Immerse yourself and experience Lord's Mercantile in our award-winning garden center. Venture our 5 acres and find a wide variety of plants and much more. For 45 years, our sales team has helped our customers find exactly what they want. While you're here, visit Lord's Mercantile next door. We carry a wide variety of gifts, home decor, treats, and more. From trendy to classic, we have something for everyone. Check us out online and on social media. Shop and sign up for the Lord's Loyalty Program and join our Lord's family today.
Over half of children's learning problems are related to vision. It may sound unbelievable, but 80% of learning is visual. And very young children don't have the words to tell us what they're seeing. We use light to determine a toddler's prescription rather than asking which is better, 1 or 2.
Dr. Tracy Boss is accepting new patients of all ages, including pediatrics, at Chesapeake Eye Centers in Salisbury and Berlin. For more about Chesapeake Eye, visit delmarvaexperts.com.
Welcome to the Brush Factory. Explore our over 60 local merchants and artists, all together under one roof. You just never know what you'll find at the Brush Factory on Kings.
Thank you so much for thinking of us.
We greatly appreciate your support.
They found a pearl inside a clam while having a romantic dinner. Next Inside Edition. Look at them now. They're getting married.
Human kiss the bride.
Then Trump on trial after the complaints.
Everybody was freezing in there.
After the bluster.
The whole thing is a mess.
The time has finally come as the DA presents his case.
Watch the next Inside Edition.
Today at 5:30 on Coast TV.
This segment of Coast Life is sponsored by BB Healthcare.
If you've been looking for a way to give back to your community, you're in luck because this week is National Volunteer Week. And joining us on the Coast Life couch today with BB Healthcare is Stephanie Adams and Susan Rickskers. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, thank you so much for being here. So, like we said, this week is National Volunteer Week. And Stephanie, you are the Volunteer Services Manager with BB Healthcare. Why is this week such a great week to join the volunteer team with BB?
Well, this is a great week. Number one, this is an opportunity for us to recognize our 375 wonderful volunteers. So we use it as an appreciation tool throughout the week. We're going to be doing fun activities, but also it's a great opportunity to shine a light on the need for volunteers in the healthcare system, with the area growing like it is, and the need for excellent healthcare in the area. Our volunteers are playing a growing part in what we do to provide healthcare to the community. Susan's a great example of that. She volunteers in our emergency department, but we need lots more.
Wow. So Susan, you said you are a retired nurse.
Yes.
What does a volunteer in the emergency department, what does that work look like?
Well, it looks like people to people for me.
Yeah.
It looks like doing anything that I can help sister nurse, brother nurse, the janitor, security guard, anyone that might be there, just to sense what their needs are, besides stocking and, helping with more menial tasks, if you will, but just to be there and, be some comfort to others.
Absolutely. I think volunteering within a hospital or the healthcare system isn't necessarily a volunteer role that a lot of people even know exists necessarily. So what are some of the other roles that people can get involved in when it comes to volunteering with BB?
Well, like what Susan does, the patient aid is such a critical role because oftentimes it's someone who can spend time with the patients, maybe get them water, a pillow, a warm blanket, when the nurses can't always get to them. But then also we have a lot of non-clinical roles as well. We have a gift shop. So that's run by our auxiliary, and they are always looking for volunteers there. We have plenty of other clerical roles. If you think about what it takes to make a healthcare system run, we have marketing, we have HR, we have our foundation. So it's not just healthcare, but a lot of what, when we see, the person who sees our patient first. That's oftentimes what people want to do, because not only is it good for the patients and the people who work there, the volunteers get a lot out of it as well. And I'm sure Susan could speak to that far more than me. But one thing I did want to mention is that Susan was recently recognized by a patient who loved their experience at BB and actually wrote a letter and sent in a little trinket of thanks to the whole team, including Susan. So I wanted to just mention that, when people visit, they see the volunteers as part of our care team.
Absolutely. And Susan, what is it that kind of keeps you coming back to volunteer with BB? Is it as rewarding as it sounds?
Yes, absolutely. I actually started at BB when I was 14 years old.
Oh, wow.
As a candy striper. My Aunt Catherine was a head nurse on Shaw Building. So the halls of BB, first of all, speak to me and have always spoken to me. And it's just my way to give back to the community and to share the Lewis values. I'm a Delawarean. And I spent every single summer, almost every weekend here since I was 3 years old, and I just was able to shadow my Aunt Catherine. And it just had such a profound effect on me that it guided my life choices and allowed me to retire after 48 years of nursing. And now I always had the plan to come back to volunteer at BB. However, COVID and I experienced some of my own sudden health issues, and I just wanted to be able to truly thank BB again for my care and for everything that they've done for me and for my continuing care at BB. It's a way for me to pass it back on. Not only to my friends, my family, but I want it for my grandchildren and for people I don't even know yet, that they can come to the community with their talents, their experiences, and share their time and expect nothing back. Just do it voluntarily. It's such a part of who I think Lewis imbibes.
I agree with you. I think that's absolutely right. And I think, sort of, Stephanie, like you were saying, there's a role for everybody. So you don't have to have healthcare background specifically to get involved in the volunteer program. So I know a lot of people are going to be wanting to get involved when they hear all this. So Stephanie, how do they do that?
They can go online. We have a website, bbhealthcare.org/volunteer. You can just also Google and volunteer BB Healthcare, and we have a web page. It shows our application. There is some background check. It's a healthcare system. We have some training. We have some training that's required.
Makes sense.
But again, all well worth it. And they can also call our office, 302-645-3531.
Perfect. Awesome. So you can get involved with BB Healthcare and get involved with giving back to our community. But coming up next on Coast Life, if you've got some prescription medicines that you need to take back this weekend, is Drug Take Back Day. We are going to tell you how you can get involved with that as well when we get back.
There are many details that shouldn't be overlooked when buying or selling your coins. Mint mark, date, and condition are all factors in determining a coin's value. Don't get ripped off. Find someone reputable who can answer your questions and pay you top dollar on the spot. Look to see if they broadcast current values live and if they use Graysheet for determining your coin's value.
To learn more about Robinson's family of businesses, the coin and jewelry experts, visit Delmarva Experts on WBOC.com.
At Coastal Comfort, we know there's no place like home. That's why we're committed to ensuring total comfort for a totally happy home. As a premier Carrier factory authorized dealer, we're dedicated to providing reliable service and the best savings. Like now, through the end of May, with purchase of a qualified Carrier system, you can instantly receive up to $1,900 off. You could also qualify for up to $2,000 in federal tax credit. Coastal Comfort, a Carrier factory authorized dealer serving Maryland and Delaware. Carrier, turn to the experts.
With this open floor plan, I can really stretch my hamstrings. Feel the burn, Hammy. I could really go for a snack right now. No! Keep exploring. One small step for man, one giant roll for Hammy. So many bedrooms. Never skip leg day. With all this room to run, I feel like the belle of the ball. Hammy is on a roll. Summer body, here I come.
Join us for the Jeep Celebration event at Preston Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram of Millsboro. This month, lease a 2024 Jeep Grand Cherokee El Laredo 4x4 for just $499 a month. Shop the deals online at MillsboroCDJR.com. Order online and we'll deliver to you. With every new purchase, you'll get our Preston for Life lifetime engine guarantee. Don't miss the Jeep Celebration event at Preston Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram. And remember, cars cost less with Preston.
It's always a beautiful day for learning at Shells. With our summer program that keeps your child physically and mentally active when they're out of school. Through captivating activities and insightful guest speakers, they will expand their knowledge in a fun and interactive way, including educational, hands-on field trips that'll keep your child entertained. Make every summer day memorable with Shell's Early Learning Center. Register now and secure your spot in Shell's summer program before the spots are gone. Shells, preparing our future generation.
Bright yellow dandelions, a clear signal that the time for prevention is now, for crabgrass and clover are soon to follow. Hillside Lawn Service has been making lawns around the Chesapeake healthier and weed-free for over 30 years. They don't mow it, they grow it. Hillside certified agronomists test your soil, apply exactly what it needs and nothing it doesn't. Their high-efficiency formulas help protect our waterways. Switch to Hillside now and get $25 off their annual maintenance program. Call Hillside Lawn Service for your free assessment.
Maybe you've recently had an injury and recovery required some prescription drugs or a surgery. Maybe somebody in your house had their wisdom teeth removed and you've got some prescription medication that's no longer being used in your house right now. So What do you do with it? Well, to tell us exactly that is Sergeant Mark Sweet with Rehoboth Beach Police Department. Welcome back to the Coast Life Couch.
So thank you for having me back on the show. That's right, we're here to talk about National Drug Take Back Day, which is a nationwide initiative to safely dispose of prescription medications.
Yeah, so why is it so important to have a space to safely dispose of these medications?
Well, it's an unfortunate thing in our country that 70% of people who abuse prescription drugs get them from friends and family who have had those drugs prescribed to them. So getting rid of them helps eliminate that. And 1 in 5 high schoolers has admitted to abusing prescription drugs. So we really want to take away that opportunity to make things safer.
Yeah.
And anything that we dispose of improperly can get into the environment, especially people who flush medications, which is way more common than you would think.
That's what I was saying. I know a lot of people just kind of go, I don't need this anymore, dump, and that's not effective, nor is it safe.
Right, and we don't want to put that in the trash either, because that will eventually get back into the environment. Maybe a little slower, but still goes to the same place.
Yes. Yeah, so we definitely don't want to be contaminating the space around us, our environment around us, especially since today is Earth Day. But Saturday is the day for National Drug Take Back Day, which people can participate in Rehoboth, but they can also participate throughout the country, right?
That is correct. So Rehoboth will have a bin available from 10 to 2 on Saturday. We do not have a year-round program, but this is something for us, for locals in the area to come in. It's convenient. But the county has several drop-off places that are open year-round. The closest one to us in Rehoboth would be the Walgreens at 5 Points in Lewis. That is year-round, so you can go there. If you miss us, you can go there. But there are several other spaces throughout there, and you can find those on the Delaware Health and Human Services website. Can tell you where the year-round locations are.
Awesome. Is there anything else that you want people to know, that people should know, when it comes to properly disposing of their prescription medications?
So when you bring them in, we'll take anything.
Okay.
Your prescription medications, anything that's not liquid, it just needs to be in a container.
Okay.
If you have the original container, great. If not, just throw it in a Ziploc bag, that's fine. We really don't want a handful of loose pills, but so some kind of container would be nice. If you're going to bring in liquids, it should be in the original container.
Gotcha.
So that helps out the mess, because not all containers are designed to hold everything.
Gotcha.
What we don't want are syringes, pill cutters, anything that has a biohazard. Don't bring those in. You're going to find another way to dispose of those. That's not what we're looking for.
Makes sense. All right, perfect. So nice and simple. We've got our do's, we've got our don'ts. Is there anything else that people need to know?
No, we've had great success with this in the past. Last year we took in 96 pounds, which is a lot. And so we can do just as well this year and get that safely disposed of.
Awesome. Plus, it cleans out a little space in your cabinets, doesn't it? So one more time, the when and where that people can do
It's going to be this Saturday, the 27th, from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at the Rehoboth Beach Police Department, right in our lobby, and we're at 229 Rehoboth Avenue. Just come on in, and you can just drop them right off. It's completely anonymous. You don't have to tell us who you are. So if you have some prescription medications that maybe you want to get rid of, that maybe you discreetly, don't worry, we're not asking questions.
Perfect. Awesome. Well, Sergeant Sweet, thank you so much for joining us and telling us about this way that people can dispose of their prescription medications, again, not only effectively, but safely for themselves and for our environment. That's what we love to hear. But we've got some more Coast Life coming up. We know you love to hear that. We'll get to that when we get back.
Persino Wells and Woodland specializes in estate planning and elder law. It's the only thing we do. We help Delaware families create estate plans that work, because to us, a true estate plan is much more than documents. I'm Michelle Persino Wells.
And I'm Amber Woodland. Estate planning helps families protect their assets from the cost of long-term care, provide for their loved ones, and simplify the tasks to be completed after their deaths. We help families plan today to protect their families tomorrow.
You've come a long way, Peninsula Bath. Sure has been fun.
Are you the bath guy?
Can you take out the trash?
Do you do lawns?
Listen, Linda, listen.
You should have called Peninsula Bath.
Khakis?
Share with us your favorite Linda memory, and you'll get 2024 off your next bathroom remodel with Peninsula Bath.
Mercy, that's a great deal.
Thank you, Delmarva, for a great year.
Right now, pet dander, skin cells, mold spores, pollen, and dirt are being sucked into your air ducts. Get cleaner air and system efficiency now with Stanley Steamer. For over 75 years, we've continually engineered our equipment and processes to deep clean your entire home. Your air ducts aren't clean until they're Stanley Steamer clean.
I want it, honey. At Vernon Powell, new spring sandals are in and toes are out. Brooks and Hoka are in and out. Fun athletic looks are definitely in. Comfort is in across the board. From Dansko, Bionic, and UFOs to Birkenstock, Olakai, and Hey Dude. Fish Hippie is in. Performance apparel is out on the water, on the beach, and on the job with performance gear from Yeti and Bog. Kids should always be out because Skechers, Slip-ins, and New Balance are in. Plus, Kendra Scott is now available at Vernon Powell.
Everyone knows us for termites and bed bugs, but don't forget we're also here for all your general pest control needs. Ants, spiders, crickets, rodents, fleas, ticks, and of course, mosquitoes. Bennett Termite is dedicated to protecting our communities from your aggravations and dangers presented by pests of all kinds. If you want to find out the Bennett difference, give us a call today.
Remember, Delmarva, quality isn't expensive, it's priceless.
At Spicer Brothers, we're not just about installing roofs. We're about protection, durability, and peace of mind. Our team of skilled professionals can install your last roof using the highest quality materials in as little as 1 day. And we make it easy with on-site design and digital proposal.
And right now, save $1,000 off your new roof. Plus, have peace of mind with our Platinum Plus lifetime warranty. And the best part, enjoy no interest and no payments for 18 months.
Call today and schedule your free in-home consultation because you deserve the best.
Coast Life, you ever have those moments where you're poking around the house, you're feeling a little peckish, and you're like, what am I gonna eat? So you work your way to the fridge, and you discover that there's always that one food waiting for you. Do you have that food, Rachel?
I do, and you know what? It's funny because Dustin really does the grocery shopping in our house.
Oh, okay.
And so, you know, he's usually the one that keeps us stocked on things. But no matter what, like no matter how long it's been, we always have a lot of cheese and crackers and like that sort of stuff in our house because we eat cheese pretty much every day. And I feel like we said we might have this in common.
Yes, I haven't met a lot of cheeses that I don't like so far. In 31 years, I've loved most of my cheeses. So I would say I usually have a cheese on hand. Usually some sort of cracker, but sometimes I don't. That really was more because my boyfriend, he's like, you can eat cheese without crackers, and like I can eat cheese
really
all day, any day. Like,
see, I think I'm with him. I need like something to put it on.
I don't have to have something crunchy to put it on. I can just cut up cheese, and I'm like, yep, I'm snacking.
That's great.
But I try not to be much of a snacker, so I don't buy a lot of snacks. I've turned into an ingredient household where I have to prep everything, and so I'm like, ugh, why am I like this?
Or you're like growing in the garden, or
yeah, or I'll grow it in the garden. But I'm trying to think of other snacks. I do tend to have some of the like dried fruit on hand.
Yeah. And that's interesting. So like when we get a cheese board out, we tend to lean more towards the savory things.
Yeah.
So we have like maybe like salami or pickled asparagus, which is not something that I would have thought that I would have liked, but it's really good on a cheese board. Okay. But yeah, so we've got like the makings of a cheese board always.
Yeah.
Now, do you have a specific type of cheese that you pretty much always have?
I usually tend to have at least like a sharp cheddar and a Havarti on hand. And like between those two, you get a little bit of like the sharpness, and then you get the soft cheese, and I usually have like a pepperoni on hand too somewhere.
Yeah, so same thing. We could put together a cheese board anytime
exactly,
together.
Our expert cheese board preparers. But there's a lot of things that I think a lot of people tend to have on hand. I know our showrunner had mentioned she always has pineapple salsa. Every single day.
That's so specific. Yeah, I think I have salsa, but not pineapple. You think of like milk and bread and eggs as things that people have on hand all the time.
Yeah, I do also usually have like shredded cheese and tortillas on hand, so I can also usually make an emergency quesadilla to varying degrees of success.
It's always good to have an emergency quesadilla.
Yeah, sometimes you just need an especially on days where like I don't have to cook a whole dinner. Where I'm like, it's just me, and it's going to be girl dinner at its finest. So I'm like, it's going to be any random shredded mix of cheese. Maybe there are some jalapenos, but maybe there aren't. Maybe there's some peppers, but maybe there aren't.
Yeah.
You don't know what you're going to throw in. And then if I'm really feeling fancy, I'll cook it on the stove, but usually it's a microwave. You got it.
Love it. I love that.
Exactly. Are there any other like sort of emergency comfort meals or maybe girl dinners that you have that when you have the whole house to yourself, you don't have to cook for anybody else?
This is horrible, but like anyone that knows me, I am not a cook. And so like if I'm left to my own devices, what I'm making myself for dinner is probably something with frozen chicken nuggets because it's easy. And who doesn't like chicken nuggets? They're delicious.
They are delicious.
So yeah, I mean, I have like We have our like cheese and charcuterie, and then we've got kids food. So if you ever needed like fruit snacks or granola bars, little yogurt pouches, applesauce pouches. I mean, I could live off of a 3-year-old's diet for years out of our house.
Yeah, no, when I babysat, like back in my nannying days, whenever the kids had the dino nuggets, we were all like, yes!
It's nugget night.
Nugget night. Me too. I was like, so throw a few extra on for me, and it's going to be great. We're going to eat like kings.
Nuggets for days.
Exactly. But you can always chime in. We love to keep the conversation going. We'll post on our social media. What's an ingredient that you always have on hand, or a whole snack, a whole food that you always have on hand in your house? But we've got a little more Coast Life coming up when we get back, so don't go anywhere.
Unwind, work off stress, and be comfortably true to who you are with Jab and Flow. We're dedicated to creating a balance of physical and mental wellness for your best life. You don't have to get in the ring, be a hardcore yogi, or train like a pro athlete to become part of our community. We teach boxing fundamentals with a fun variety of yoga, Pilates, and fitness classes for drop-ins and members of all levels. On Route 1 between Rehoboth and Dewey with plenty of free parking.
Be a part of art. Come inside the Art League of Ocean City's Center for the Arts. Waterfront on 94th Street Bayside. Admission is always free, year-round. Enjoy diverse galleries featuring original and local artworks for sale. You'll always find something new to see. Take an art class. We have something fun and unexpected for all ages and skills. Check our calendar. It's full of special events. See everything you need to know at ocart.org.
Pinnacle team was awesome. I was impressed how that was. I mean, the big machines they had.
The floor looks great. It's brighter. It brightens up the room a lot. It's, you know, the grit in the floor helps with us responding to the, you know, getting to our lockers. You know, usually we come running through here and everything like that. The Pinnacle team was really great. They were professional. They were, you know, very honest. They wanted to get us done, and they got us done on time. Pinnacle was amazing, and we absolutely love the floor.
Pinnacle Concrete Coatings, because quality matters.
For every season, every weather moment, stay ahead with the Coast TV First Alert Weather Phone. Just call 443-880-9100. Your forecast just a call away. Sponsored by the law offices of Baird, Mandalas, Brockstead, and Federico.
This segment of Coast Life is sponsored by Kids Catch.
Happy Earth Day. Yes, like we said earlier, it is time to celebrate all things Earth related, taking care of our planet, whether it's trying to use those reusable grocery bags or maybe you're starting a garden. Either way, or however you're celebrating Earth Day, we've got some fun jokes for you because it's Monday, and that means it's time for our joke jar because we know you love to laugh. It's all thanks to our friends at Kids Catch in Lewis, where you can find all sorts of fun and games waiting for you. But for now, let's dive into some of those Earth Day jokes.
How do you cut a wave in half?
Chop it.
That was close.
With a surfboard.
You might got me with one I don't know. You slice it.
That was close. You use a seesaw.
Oh my gosh.
You use a seesaw.
Alright, that was good.
What is a tree's least favorite month?
December.
No, that was close. It's September.
Duh. Okay, I get it. That's why you did timber like that.
What kind of shorts do clowns wear?
I ain't know they wore shorts.
Oh yeah, they wear thunderwear.
Okay.
What do you have to watch out for when it rains cats and dogs?
I don't know. Litter?
Oh,
That was. You gotta be careful not to step in a poodle.
I like that one. I think the litter was better.
Okay, what's the difference between weather and climate?
Weather and climate. Weather is the forecast, and climate is regarding the atmosphere.
That's a really good point, but for our joke purposes, you can't weather a tree, but you can climb it.
Oh my God.
You actually gave me a real answer for that one.
Yes, I did.
What did the earth say to the earthquake?
What?
You crack me up. Okay, what kind of plant can you grow in your hand?
All I know is a hand plant.
That was close.
I have no idea.
A palm tree.
Oh, how wonderful.
Don't be a comedian for a living. You be eating a lot of cheese sandwiches.
If you want to keep all the fun and games and laughs coming your way, don't forget to check out Kids Catch in Lewis. Again, we have so much fun when Lori comes in to play games with us, and we continue to play a lot of those games. So whether it's brain games, board games, dress up, they've got all things that you and your family need for a little extra fun, because don't forget, summer break is right around the corner. But you know what else is right around the corner? Some more Coast Life. We're taking a trip to Ripley's, believe it or not, when we get back.
Coming up at 5, the 5 Points Roundabout is now partially open. How this will speed up your commute and the ongoing plans to fully restore traffic flow. Cleanup efforts at Slaughter Beach for Earth Day see how locals are making a difference and the valuable insights into our coastal ecosystem. Ocean City ending its seasonal officer program, what this means for public safety, and how it could affect police presence this summer. Coming up on Coast TV News at 5.
When you're obese, you know, right? And you know the world sees you as this, but when you hear that, hey, you need to lose weight, you're like, but how? You feel trapped.
It's intimidating, and it's a really hard decision for the patient to make to proceed with weight loss surgery. Most people don't have enough information about the safety and the effectiveness of weight loss surgery.
I know that I can reach out to any person here at BP, and I can get the support that I need.
It's that time of year again, where homeowners are power washing, staining, and replacing boards on their deck.
No one has time for that. With Paul Davis, our AZEK decks are crack, fade, and insect resistant with a lifetime warranty.
Paul Davis makes it easy by bringing the showroom to you and giving you an estimate that same day. Paul Davis decks are beautiful.
Save Big 3 Ways is now extended. Get last year's pricing, pay nothing until 2025, and get a 10x10 outdoor gazebo free with your new deck through April 30th.
Call Paul Davis today for a free estimate.
After numerous successful shower renovations, we've heard your feedback loud and clear. You're craving more than just a shower. You desire a complete bathroom transformation from Baths by Spicer Brothers. We're reimagining your entire space, from digital design to meticulous craftsmanship. Every aspect will be customized to fit your unique style and needs. And right now, save up to 20% off your new project, plus no payments and no interest until 2026. Don't settle for less. Call Baths by Spicer Brothers today, because you deserve the best.
If you remember, a few weeks ago, we took a trip to Ocean City to visit Ripley's Believe It or Not and their new warehouse space that they opened up for a new exhibit. It was super cool, super fun, but the fun did not stop there. Things got a little spooky at night. We took a ghost tour at Ripley's Believe It or Not because, believe it or not, it's actually quite haunted. So let's see how it went.
So in 1925, there was a Great Ocean City fire that happened, and it actually burnt down 3 blocks of the boardwalk. This building was one of the buildings. Across the way, the Atlantic Hotel was the other. Dolly's, all of this burnt. They called it the Great Ocean City Fire. This building burnt in 1925, but was rebuilt in 1926. So we're going to go inside. Brandon's going to tell you a few stories about some exhibits, and then we'll move on to the next room.
The first one's going to be in this case right to my right here. This is one of Audra's favorite favorite exhibits in here, and it's a Tibetan skull coffee pot. So it's an actual skull that's been converted into a steamer coffee pot. This was Robert Ripley's. He used to drink his daily coffee and tea out of this actual coffee pot, thermos, whatever you want to call it, but it's in the right-hand corner of this case. So if you get a chance, take a look at it. Over in this case on this side over here, Ripley loved the Orient. He always said that when he died, he would come back of an Orient descent. So in this case over here, there's a couple different things that Ripley himself, like I said, used to carry along with him. He would take and bring along. One of them is the Japanese geisha girl wig. That was actually his that he used to wear with his samurai suits. All his different armor and stuff like that. So that actually traveled. That is the actual case that it traveled in. So that is something that's really, really cool. But right on this picture right here, I love telling this story because I can't do it, but this was his bedroom. He slept with the Buddhas. He was scared absolutely to death to be by himself. So Robert Ripley always had the Buddhas, always had people around him. But if you look at this picture really close in the back, that is actually his bed. It was a 12-foot by 12-foot square bed, and it was literally covered with 24-karat gold Buddhas and different things that he slept with every night. So this room right here, until here recently, was always kind of quiet. It's kind of where we got people ready to go for the tour, ready to go and have a good time ghost hunting, right? Well, as the little hallway you guys walked up coming around the corner, about 3 months ago, it was Christmas time, right around that time. We're in here, we had a paranormal team here. You heard Audra talking about Sean. He brought one of his teams down here, just weekend getaway. They ran down here, they knew they'd have fun. So they're set up in this room here. We're all in here and everybody's real quiet and everybody's asking questions. Well, Audra's new toy that she has that plays the accordion child's play music was sitting back on that back hallway. Some of you guys may have it, I know Stephanie does, but the cat ball. They had cat balls all lined up in the floor here, right? So we're all sitting in here. I'm sitting back being quiet, minding my own business, watching people's K2 meters and watching some of his team kind of do their thing. All of a sudden, one of them cat balls just takes off rolling down the floor. We're like, whoa, never seen that before. You know, it's something new. So here we are, we're messing with it. In mind of doing that, all of a sudden, that kids box started going off and played and played and played, and there's nobody around it. So Sean started interacting with it, and as he would ask questions, it was answering us, yes and no. Shut off for yes, turn on for no. It was just interacting. Well, he had to go use the restroom. He left the room. It turned on and never shut off until he come back in the room. This room here is probably used to be, I would say, our second most active room in here. The ramp coming down from the tunnel there is where Alex experienced the knock on the wall today that made her and Katie look at each other like they were crazy. But yeah, so this room here, you hear footsteps, talking, knocking, your K2 meters in here. Oh, there you go. Something's close to the REM pod.
Can you walk away from it? Me?
Not you. Yeah, see, there you go. That little thing right there started going off. So basically what this is, kind of explain that to you. You have to get close to it before it goes off. All right, so what it was is something came near it, and you see the red light here. It actually is still here, but it's not producing enough energy to make it go off. So this reads energy in the air. It reads motion. So all it takes is something close to get to, like a radio antenna, and it'll make it go off. So it works very, very well in this room. Some nights it don't make a noise.
I think many of us scared ourselves with that little music box tool that they had there throughout the night. But the EMF readers were really fun. All the best ghost hunting tools were used for the ghost hunting tour that we took at Ripley's, believe it or not, in Ocean City. But a great time to check out, and just a really fun family event any day that you go and head to Ripley's, believe it or not, right there in Ocean City. But we've got some more Coast Life to get to, just a little bit more when we get back.
Are you tired of contractors not showing up on time or not even returning your call? And why are you still waiting for an estimate? Maybe it's because the sales consultant they sent isn't really qualified to make a proper quote, only to find out the contractor isn't even licensed? That's why thousands of homeowners and businesses trust Delmarva's original crawl space experts. At DryTech, we're certified, trained, licensed, and insured. So your crawl space problem gets solved, guaranteed. Call DryTech today for a free assessment.
Vision loss can be gradual, and your elderly loved ones might not realize how compromised their vision has become. There are some simple ways you can help. Clear all pathways in their home to prevent accidents. Label items with bright colors and make sure those items stay in a designated place. When you need help, consult with a professional in-home care provider. Home Care Services can set up a safety plan, assist with running errands and other tasks that might be difficult for them.
To learn more about Home Care Services, visit delmarvaexperts.com.
Every visit is an adventure at Browse About Books in Rehoboth Beach. Search our hand-picked book collection and find something in every genre. From bestsellers to some of our staff picks, you'll uncover a new adventure every time. After you've browsed our extensive book selection, explore our gift shop, where you'll find an exciting array of toys, gifts, Rehoboth-themed items, and home decor. Browse About Books on Rehoboth Avenue, a fun, friendly place to shop for books and so much more.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3,
Enjoy 10 songs in a row. Sponsored by Pohanga Care of Salisbury.
Families love Peninsula Home Care. They know they have an entire team with them through every step of the recovery.
We are your advocate. From hospital to home, we will connect you with the resources that you need most.
We're at your home bringing the highest level of care, including wound care and E-stim.
Through storms, pandemics, and more, we'll always be there for you.
When you or a family member are recovering from an illness, injury, or surgery, let our team step in to help. Serving Maryland and Delaware, call Peninsula Home Care today.
Bright yellow dandelions, a clear signal that the time for prevention is now, for crabgrass and clover are soon to follow. Hillside Lawn Service has been making lawns around the Chesapeake healthier and weed-free for over 30 years. They don't mow it, they grow it. Hillside certified agronomists test your soil, apply exactly what it needs and nothing it doesn't. Their high-efficiency formulas help protect our waterways. Switch to Hillside now and get $25 off their annual maintenance program. Call Hillside Lawn Service for your free assessment.
They found a pearl inside a clam while having a romantic dinner. Next, Inside Edition. Look at them now. They're getting married. Watch the next Inside Edition.
Today at 5:30 on Coast TV.
Before we let you go there, Coast Life, we wanted to mention, check the couch cushions at home for some coins because, I know, don't check under this couch. You're not going to find any change, just a bunch of lip glosses and Easter eggs and hair ties and anything we've ever had on this show that we've stashed under the couch. But according to, there's a waste facility in Pennsylvania that they say we throw out about $10 million in coins every year.
$10 million in coins?
$10 million in coins.
Wow, that's amazing.
Not just
I thought
10 million
coins, which I mean would still be a lot of dollars, but wow.
Yeah.
I do believe that though. Like, do you find coins?
too.
I find them randomly, like under my car seats.
Oh, they're on various pockets and various purses.
Yes.
I've got a little coffee mug downstairs that has all my change, and I'm like, I'm going to use this for the vending machine.
Yeah,
but then
you forget.
When was the last time you could actually pay for something in change?
That's true. And how many coins would it take to buy just about anything at this point?
Exactly, because I feel like I used to, like I remember very vividly as like late teens, like my teenage years, that like my mom would buy an iced coffee all in quarters.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and quarters used to be like, as a kid, I remember if I had some quarters, I felt like I could kind of afford something.
Right, you're like, I could get something with these quarters.
Yeah, well, and speaking of, like we were saying earlier with kids growing up earlier, even my children don't really value coins that much. Like they kind of know, this is just like a penny is not really worth a whole lot.
Right, and I do remember, you know, for vacation, we would have, okay, everybody search the house for coins, and we'd roll them up so that you could have them for the crane games and all the machines.
Or the parking meters.
The parking meters, yes, right. You can't even park in the meters anymore with quarters.
No, you need your credit card now.
Yeah, but you can't, I mean, technically you can pay in quarters, but financially it's very hard to come up with that much money.
Yeah.
But we thought that was a fun little tidbit for you. I hope you had some fun as well if you had a chance to check out the DSN Outdoors Expo this past weekend. I know it's always a wonderful event. Hopefully you got to check out some really neat vendors that were there, but it is about that time for us to go. Rachel, thanks for hanging out with me today.
Thank you. Happy Earth Day. Hope we
Happy Earth Day. But we will be back tomorrow. Coast TV News at 5 takes it from here.